Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is the third of 3 sessions. That's right, it's the final session of a game called Gravity RIP that I'm running in Star Wars. So it is pod racing. This is pod racing. It's Wizard, friends. It's Wizard. So in Gravity RIP, we've established that the first race and story around it was on Corania City. It was a semi-annual route in the Neon Quarter of Corania City. And in this session, there's going to be a different kind of race. It will be an invitational that will be a smaller crew, a faster course. Overclocking will be on at all times. It's going to be wild. Let's go around the horn and remind everybody about our racers. We're going to start from the middle. We're going to start from the middle and bounce around. So Greg, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your racer.
Sure. I'm Greg. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Truss, who also uses he, him pronouns. He is an armored Athorian who races a pod racer that has these large solar sails attached. We talked about how they were at one point banned, and there was a safety device added to make them legal once more, and that has been removed. So now I essentially have an illegal mod. Truss is kind of aware, and it's not. I want to reflavor this a little bit. I don't think it's entirely clear whether it was Circle 66 or the folks at Ping Cola who have performed this modification, right? Because I've got the ping droids all over my ship, so it's not entirely clear which of my sponsors is the one who has illegally modded my racer. And let's see. Oh, and something Stephen mentioned did remind me. They are currently redoing the cable service to my neighborhood. So I also might just suddenly drop, in which case I will try and get back on as soon as I can. They've been doing that at night, so it usually isn't a problem, but yeah. Oh, and now we lost Brandon.
Not Brandon, we lost Darren.
Oh.
And
okay. Darren had to open table. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Darren, if you're watching this, I hope you're okay, man.
Yep. And I think that's it for Truss.
Okay. Thank you very much. And let's jump over here to Brandon. Introduce yourself. Tell us a bit about your character.
Yes, hi, I'm Brandon. I am playing Thor, who goes by any pronoun, who is someone who was basically born into indenture and bought her way out of slavery by agreeing to have a modified Apperson symbiote landed in her brain. These things normally kill their hosts in a very short period of time. Hers has been hacked to allegedly be stable, but she's pretty sure it's still killing her. It's just going to happen without notice at any moment. And so she lives her life in the moment. She has a lot of relationships, mostly very short-lived. The symbiote makes her impulsive, but also makes her very attractive, especially to races that normally wouldn't be attracted to humans. And she capitalized on this after a torrid affair with the genius Wookiee Vorin Dor to steal her racer Adrenaline, a ultralight device buttressed by a gravity and force field matrix that makes it both extremely fast and absolutely gorgeous. It is more virtual than real, but nevertheless holds together. Not many people would actually pilot it in a race because the power source is not, powerful is not exactly the kind of thing you want to have under your seat in case things go wrong. But Thorin figures, what does she have to lose? And in the meantime, it is gorgeous. And she managed to win the last RIP race with it unexpectedly. She recently broke up with the Black Doctor, who evidently has been persuaded to resent this and maybe trying to hack her rather damaged neurological system. We'll see.
Indeed, he is not happy at the sudden breakup because he thought I thought there was more, but it turns out it was all a lie. So he will be dealing with that. Thank you so much, Brandon. Last but not least, maybe having some system issues as we go, but we'll try to shoulder through. Stephen, if you could introduce yourself, tell us about your character.
Hi, my name's Steven. My pronouns are he, him. And today I'm playing Nedic, whose pronouns are she, her. And Nedic is a Jawa. And she found an old destroyed engine, pod racing engine out in the desert of Tatooine. Started messing around with it, got it to work. And whenever she turned it on, it just took off. And she rode it, like the Bronco it was, until she realized, oh, I really enjoy this speed. So she started putting together a pod racer and started playing, started running in the different races around Tatooine, worked her way up, got a decent racer together, and is now on Karania City trying out a new off-world race. And did decent in the first one and, basically took the winnings and, dumped it back into her ship. Mm-hmm.
All right. With all of that introduction out of the way, we will jump into story mode. So the big thing in our story mode is we start with a HoloNet broadcast. There's a glitzy display about the I think they're going to call this the Zinj Cup. Warlord Zinj is this moth who refused to join the New Republic and has carved out a slice of the galaxy that he still holds sway. And Karania City is his home, is the capital city of his home planet, Sereno. Karania City has adopted Zinj to say he's from Karania City. And the Corps run Karania City because Warlord Zinj is busy dealing with the Empire. He rarely comes down to Karania City. But something has happened. Maybe there's a little bit of PR needed. Maybe the Corps have curtailed his interest. He has agreed to host a very special invitation-only pod racing race for the Zinj's Cup, the Warlord's Cup, as they call it. And that is going to be held on his Star Destroyer. So it is part of a formidable fleet. His Star Destroyer is known as Retaliation. It is a Venator class Star Destroyer, so it is massive. And it is actually a Venator was Republic, so it's an old Republic Star Destroyer, large enough to host a city, and it's glitzy. They have coming out of semi-retirement, the star Kofuku will be playing, and that like anyone who goes to Chip Off Cantina might hear that there's like a contingent of mega fans, of stans for Kofuku, who think that Kofuku is gone, and they think that this is obviously got to be some kind of simulacrum. It's fake. It's not the real Kofuku. But when pressed, they say, "But yeah, we're gonna listen. We're gonna watch, because it's, even if she's just doing the greatest hits, it's Kofuku, and also we want to pick out all the flaws and talk about it on the HoloNet and the boards." So those are the things that are in our setup. for this is it's not on a space station, is on the Venator class Star Destroyer. But as we create the racetrack, feel free to be creative, friends. I am happy to see what you have for us. We will get into the creation of the race track itself after we get in story mode. So the purpose of story mode, get to play your character, get to see what they care about, and also hopefully we can come up with an objective for each of you. So I'd like to start off, while we've got you, Stephen, I'd like to start off with Nedic. So Nedic in race 1, don't forget you've got a reputation. You've finished in the top 3. As you said, you did quite well. Did you place better at stuff on Tatooine?
I think this is pretty par for the course. I think on
Okay.
Tatooine, I didn't win all the time, but I placed high enough in order to repair and build up my pod racer and get off world. So I think top 2 or 3 is probably where I normally placed. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that totally jives. What is it that you want to do here during your time of prep before you guys have to take a large shuttle up to the Retaliator?
I think so I showed up this is before we go to the
Yes,
Star
but
Destroyer?
also if you want to jump ahead and say I want to do it on the Retaliation, then that's cool too.
Yeah, I think I'd like to do that. And I think once we arrive, I accompany my pod racer. I don't let anyone else really touch it. I make sure it gets packed up. We arrive up there. And I think we get dropped off like in their garage bay where there's a bunch of ties and a bunch of other
Oh
Imperial
yeah, it's
ships
totally
and all
one
that.
of the hangar bays that they've pulled most of activity off of that. Yeah, I get it. That's awesome.
And I think we get that picture of as it lands, Nedic's eyes get a little bit wider, that glow, that yellow glow go woo, and she starts, unpacking her thing, but stealing glances towards the rest of the ships. And she's going to wander around. I think they noticed this, of course. So the garage crew keeps an eye on her, but she's going to, oh, look, they, that part and this part, and these are all great, and starts kind of, maybe even walking over and stroking a new engine or a new intake or something like that. And basically we could see about I think she's going to see what she could potentially take from the garage here for use on her ship. And I'd like
that seems dangerous.
Oh yeah, and I'd like to see that. Well, she doesn't danger. What's that mean? And I'd like to see what the interaction with the rest of the garage crew is, because they know what Jawas are, right? They know how to keep an eye on them. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, by the way, I dropped it in chat, but I screwed up pre-Imperial blowing up, the Republic style Venator is what he was the captain of, but I just double checked and he actually was promoted to admiral and given command of the Executor class Star Dreadnought, the Brawl, which he renamed the Iron Fist after his first command by Emperor Palpatine himself. So you're on the Iron Fist. It is much bigger. The Executor class is also known as the Super Star Destroyer. So yeah, that's scary. But we dial back in to Nedic. There are a lot of engineers here, and occasionally you'll see the black suited TIE fighter pilots. Most of the TIEs that are here are the aggressor style TIE fighters, which are not made for dogfighting, but they are really useful for crowd control. And so these are the ones that are occasionally sent down to Crania City in case there are rebellion problems, which often happen in the lower, cheaper parts of Crania City. So I think I'd like to see a chaos check, right? Because you're doing something. Well, you tell me. It feels like you're doing something that's a little emotional. Like, I want this. I'm impulsively going for this thing. I'm just going to snatch it. Does that feel right?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. She's not thinking about what she needs. She's just, wandering around and I think, she wanders around and looks and they kind of wave her away and say, pull her off. And then I think that some of the technicians approach her pod racer and she goes running back, that tiny little Jawa run and everything. And as she approaches, she's like, you know, jabbering in Jawa'ese, but the vocoder comes through and says, no, 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 no touch, don't touch that. And they kind of back away, and she goes back and make sure they didn't mess anything up. And then as soon as she gets it back in order, she goes back around and starts finding something else. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We have our setups. You're going to roll a d6. Now,
Right.
if you can use your reputation, you can roll with advantage. You're looking to roll, because this is chaos, you want to roll lower than your chaos theory number.
So I don't think my reputation matters here because these are Imperials. They don't really care, whether or not I won the race or not. If it was with fans, then it would. But I think these
Mhm.
Imperial people, they're like, yeah, we've seen faster ships. It's fine. So let me roll my d6.
Okay.
I rolled a 5, which is higher than my Chaos Theory number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
So
yes.
that is a bad thing.
Mhm.
So you find let's say like something like an alternator that allows you to adjust the power current more efficiently, so it could potentially give you like an extra acceleration. We'll say even like one extra point of acceleration is an illegal mod, and trying to figure out how to get that thing to work, because it's not exactly sized right. Maybe you need to shave it off. And a couple of humans, engineers, one of them actually has like, I don't know, bars or something on his chest, if that means anything. All the rest of them don't. And he comes up and he pulls off his cap and he's looking at it. He says, listen, Jawa, that is Imperial property.
And
Yeah.
I think she kind of hugs her racer and is like, no, mine. This is mine.
Looks over at the other engineer, and the other engineer says, give us a moment. The other engineer, yes, sir. He comes over and he says, well, I'll give you an opportunity to earn this, Nedic. That's your name, right, Jawa?
Oh, yeah. Yes. And your name is?
That is a great question, as Rich jumps to his name's the species helper. And he is going to say, I am Lieutenant Zapal, Panasabal. And you finished third in the last race, did you not?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very fast.
Here is what I offer you. I will not report this if you are able to finish in the top 3 in this special race. Perhaps it could be even a motivating factor for some of my engineers who are convinced that that particular power alternator is less efficient. But on the off chance that you fail or crash and die, let's not discuss what you're using. Yes?
And I think she kind of nods and I think pulls out the manifold that we were talking about and pulls a file out of her pocket and equivalently files off the serial numbers. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's quite right. Now, so that we're clear, if you fail, then I'll need to destroy any evidence that this alternator was stolen, which means that most likely I'll need to destroy the pod racer. So I would recommend that you finish in the top 3, young lady. And he pats your head because he's a dick.
And I think she kind of jerks back a little bit and then goes back and kind of strokes her pod racer and is like, you can see the thoughts going through her head, like, what did I just do? Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're racing for pinks, except that you don't get pinks if you win. You just get to keep your pink and get the hell off of this Star Destroyer with your pod racer.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you cool with that? Does that sound
Yeah.
okay as an objective? All right.
Oh,
awesome.
that sounds great, especially since I failed the roll. That's perfect.
What is pinks?
Oh, sorry, that's an old 50s racing thing. It's like the pinks were the ownership.
Oh, yes, okay.
You're racing for pinks, and if you won, you got their car, supposedly.
Got you. Okay.
I apologize for making. I think that's from Greece. I don't
I
know.
think it sounds
where I
like it's
stole
from
it.
Greece.
The pink ladies, and wait, no, that's not what they. I've heard
It's pink
that the pink
slips.
lady. It's pink slips. Yeah, like the pink slips. It's the ownership dealing. Yeah. Let's jump over to Truss. Where would you like to do your story mode, Truss?
Oh, so I think we've arrived at the Iron Fist, right? And there's like the big shuttles that are carrying all of our racers up, and your ship lands. And you get off. Maybe there's like 3 or 4 pod racers on it, and then there's like the security line, right? Because this is also going to be a Kufuku concert at the same time, which was already going to be my track feature. So now I have to come up with something else.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. So I think we're like getting in the security line, and Truss is very anxiously like spinning his new ping provided chain codes. And I think Punky Pollux is either in front of me or behind me, and maybe noticing that Truss's credentials may not be totally legit.
Wow. I've never seen a chain code that the number sequence is actually an advertisement.
Well, sometimes it just, you're fortunate like that.
It just happens to say drink ping.
Yeah, drink ping. Yeah. No, really, if you line these numbers up against Abish, it says drink ping.
Well, I think everyone should drink ping.
Are you a sellout, Truss? Punky kind of shakes her big, kind of bouffant mohawk thing going on. Are you a sellout? She says louder.
And Truss, like, one of his eyes moves over because the Thorians, their eyes are, and like looks at the morning flower, which now has like all this new pink accents and racing stripes. You wish that you had the kind of money that Ping is providing me, Punky. At least I'm not racing that thing. And I gesture towards, I don't know. We don't have an established.
Yeah, we haven't established what Punky, what Punky Pollux flies. It's an acceleration 2 weight 0. So I'm imagining that her pod racer. I'm kind of envisioning that it's a little bit like the what Rey Palpatine / Skywalker flew, that thing that kind of looks like just like a blade, really. And so she leans over it, right? And it still has that same like low whoop 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 sound whenever it's like a bass machine kind of vibe. And you've got one of the pit droids is like finishing rolling out the big decal of
the big
Ping.
decal on Ping.
Yeah.
All done here, sir. Is there anything else you would like? Ping!
And Trust like, no, not right now, and maybe accidentally hits the nose button and it collapses up. Oh, Ping has provided me the credits that I need to race, Punky.
Mina hates you, and I'm not entirely sure why. I've ignored you, but I think I'm going to destroy you, Truss, because you just, to me, symbolize everything that's wrong with pod racing. And this way you notice that there's like a little cam droid that's like hovering around, and it starts, it starts to dial into this little, you're everything that's wrong with pod racing. You're the corpse. You're the sellout. You're the wannabe. And that's going to make it so sweet when I trash you. I beat you last race. I'm going to beat you again. But this time, you'll never race again with that stupid sail. What even is that?
That is, you're not a true historian of pod racing. Not like I am. That's a classic.
I'll leave you in history, just like I did last race.
We'll see, Punky.
The cam droid like pulls away and spins around to BZ5, who says, "Oh my, race fans, what this is very exciting. Truss and Punky Pollux seem to have some rivalry going on. Oh, we must find out more about that. Check in my feed as I'll be questioning them in the heat of the moment."
Clunky Punky.
Good one.
Sweet. So other than your face off with Punky Pollux, is there anything else you'd like to do? Because I don't know if you've got an objective yet.
I do. I already have to beat Nedic, so now I have to beat Punky too. It's all good. Everything's gonna go great for Truss.
All right. Well, we've got goals for Punky Pollux and Mina Kliko. They both want to take Truss down. Cool. So that took place as you guys were getting everything loaded up to go out to the Superstar cert, right? Is that right for Truss? Sweet. So
And I
Truss-
imagine that the stormtrooper like scans my chain code, sighs, and lets me through. Is that
No, what he does, because he's a stormtrooper, is he scans it and he says,
Sergeant, you should come check this out. It's chain code.
and then another stormtrooper comes over. He's got like the orange shoulder pad thing.
Truss, is it? Are you aware that this says drink ping?
and Truss doesn't know what else to do but just winks. His armored suit.
The armored suit swings.
All right, move along. Move along.
So you
Something
get on
to talk about in the break room.
Yes. I can't believe that. Oh, that's great. Well, it's not like we can't find him. What do we care? Maybe it's random number sequencing. It had to happen to someone. They argue back and forth. No, but he's totally a pink sellout. Oh, yeah, but wouldn't you sell out the pink for that kind of credits? Oh, I'd sell out the pink for much, much less. Yeah, but then you'd have to be a racer. Oh, I could do that. I used to ride a speeder bike. Yeah. Yeah, sure. You and everybody else on Endor, I'm sure. Fourth moon of Endor. Well, he comes back. Anyway, so Truss, you get onto the shuttle with the pod racers. And I got broken Brandon. Yes, Mark 1. So shuttle's one of those type things. I think it looks like a flying saucer look, because I think that would be a fun way. And then when the shuttle comes up into orbit, Truss, you see another circular. You see an Athorian herd ship. And, it's that beautiful rounded dome with the underlayment. You know that they have a jungle in the center. section of the herd ship, and it's very, very close to the Superstar Destroyer. You actually see there are a couple like little ships, scale wise, right? Little ships that are going across and heading towards one of the hangars of the Superstar Destroyer. And you arrive on the hangar and you see Nedic is there as well as a few of the other racers. You notice that there are only 10 pod racers involved in this. Normally it's twice as big. So this is definitely an invitational. So let's jump to Thorn. Where do you want to pick up with your story mode scene? You had some, maybe you were dating Hound. Are you dating Hound now?
Yeah, for the moment.
Cool. Okay, for the time being, I like it.
Thorn doesn't make promises.
She's the flavor of the whatever time period
I
suits.
didn't. Yeah, I'd never say that to her, to whoever I was with.
Yeah, it's like the Migna Merciless marriage, you know.
Well, you know, when I say to her, I know myself, and you know, we'll be together until we're not.
Okay. I'm
And if
into
I
that.
promised you anything more than that, then I'd be an asshole, because that's not the way my brain works. And that's a thing. So, I mean, I'll be completely with you until we break up. That's all I can promise.
Sure. Live for the
And
moment.
I'll never fucking lie to you. So take it or leave it.
I'll take it. Sounds good.
So this is I think this is in the aftermath of an incredible bender.
Nice. You go out
Well,
with
all the
Razor
racer girls, racer girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent too many credits and threw us a party, you know, in some venue with a heavy light show and kind of piped in aerosol hallucinogenic drugs. You know, drinks spiked with things that normal people wouldn't touch. And this is in the aftermath of that, as the illusory entities are starting to dissipate.
Nice.
The cool thing about some of the drugs they piped in is they give you shared illusions.
Oh, cool.
So if you're emotionally close to somebody else, you actually hallucinate the same thing.
Oh, that's wicked. And Riddle is really like all of that animosity just seems it's flipped. You know, it's flipped to the other edge. In fact, it almost feels like she might be trying to horn in on Hound's territory. She's flirting with you pretty heavily. She like puts her arm around you a bunch, and at one point she tries to kiss you, and you could tell that Hound's not super down with that. How do you handle that?
I take her face in both of my hands and say, "You might have your turn, but it's not yet. And you're gonna have to deal with that. I'm one person at a time."
And
But
it's right in front of the Razor Girls.
But
right?
I change part. Yes, absolutely. But he says, but I change partners a lot, so you never know. I'm not going to make you a promise, but you know, you are crazy cute, and you have fire, and I really respect that. But I'm not going to be with you right now because I'm with him.
I like that. I kind of like to put it to dice to see how she reacts, and it
Sure.
feels like you're being logical here, right? You made a promise, you're holding by it. It doesn't feel like it's a super impulsive, emotional thing to me. Is that right?
It just seemed to be like the thing that goes through her head. She doesn't look too far forward. She's trying to be logical. It's not going to work because that thing.
I mean, feels like she's holding to her values and just saying, hey, I made this promise and I don't lie, and here we go. So let's see you make an analytical. So you're going to make a theory check. You got to roll higher than your number.
This ain't gonna work. But I critted it.
You critted it. That is not what I expected.
Nope.
If you roll your number exactly, is once more a critical success, which means you succeed and then some. With the nature of the and then some, of course, written like a trad game determined by your GM. But if folks have ideas, I imagine that our Chiss friend would be super impressed by that.
Yeah, I think she's completely spent.
Yeah, I think Riddle's like, oh wow, I thought this could be.
But also, I've established to the Razor Girls, it's like, this is Thorne's one principle. She doesn't have a lot. You know, this is kind of for like her bedrock, and this is where she's always dug in and been rigid, because you can't depend on anything else about her.
I like it.
She's hot, otherwise she's hot one day and cold the next. Because that's the way she is. Maybe some people say because she's got a worm in her head.
Maybe so. And yeah, I think you're enjoying that moment of seeing Riddle's surprise and admiration, and the girls are parting on until Shift, who's a member of the team, she's originally from Naboo. She brings over this like little hollow projector, like a little portable hollow projector, and she drops it down and she goes, you got to see this, Thorne, you got to see this. And so the girls all come around, and a little hollow display comes up, and it's like a boring ass show, like an interview show. There's no music or anything. It's just a couple people, but one of them is a Wookiee, Vorin Dor, and you see she's on, it's some kind of science show, and she is speaking her low rumbles. She doesn't speak basic, but she has the kind of Dr. Theopolis communicator thing that translates for her live. So she's talking.
I like to think that it translates with alternate translations and parentheses in the subtitles.
Yeah.
It's like, because things don't quite translate, so it's like, I've been studying parenthesis dissecting ? The
I like that too. It's like watching a dub version of an anime with
Yes.
subtitles on, and occasionally they disagree with each other on the interpretation. I love that. Cool. And she is explaining, no, the adrenaline was my finest work of art. It was indeed. And while it is still missing, I am no longer concerned about where it might have ended up, because I've taken the basic principles of adrenaline and improved upon it tenfold. I call my newest design Maximus, and I am looking forward to seeing how a certain Transition will be able to wield her.
No fucking way, says Thorne out loud.
And I was like, wait, what? What is...
She's come out with a better racer than adrenaline? First off, fuck no, she hasn't. And second off, if she has, and she's not letting me fly it.
I was just, well, what do you want to do?
I go over there and give her a piece of my fucking mind.
Okay,
Come on.
I'll back your play. Let's go.
Okay, I hop on the speeder bikes and proceed to drive, ignoring all traffic regulations
Yeah, totally.
at top speed through Carania City, because we're fucking Razor Girls and I don't care.
Yeah, the Razor Girls are going to back you up. Queen Requiem gives the go ahead, and everybody, Bell, Riddle, Sable, Shift, they all take off after you and Hound, and you guys are headed to, well, I mean, let's take a look at our Karania City. Where is it that we think the exclusive place that Vorendor stays? Do we think that she's in Neon Quarter? Do we think that she's in the Corp Quarter in some kind of high rise? What do you think?
She I'm just reading the quarters.
Oh, that's not good.
Neon quarters, Cutie Dogs. She's in the Corp Quarter, but she's not in one of the. But she's basically got a like the top 4 stories of one of the Corp buildings.
Yeah,
she's
I
not
think
up.
it's like it's not Osiris's headquarters. It's like Osiris's miniature arcology, where the Osiris, basically their executive class stays. So it's almost like a miniature city into and of itself. So the,
yeah, she has a huge multi-story thing. Part of it is her living quarters. Part of it is her workshop, and the top part of it is a fucking display room. It's got you know, her finest engineering artifacts that actually aren't out on the field, so that anybody passing by in a speeder can get an eyeful. It's basically a little aerial museum. You know, all glass,
kind of
and it's all glass walls.
I'm biting off of the Shadowrun arcology thing of it looking somewhat like a ziggurat or a pyramid, and there's a section of that slice that is pretty much just plastisteel, so you can see through. And there are also these like hollow repeaters that will show the things on kind of like the faces in Blade Runner, where the huge, and they show the different pieces that here it is. Here's this amazing piece. And as you're getting closer, Hound says, Osiris is nothing to sneeze at. Maybe we call ahead.
Nope.
Oh, well, that sounds like
they'll let me in or they won't.
Okay. Well, give me a chaos check to see if your irrational emotional thing pays off here. With a chaos check, you want to roll lower than 5.
Yes.
Yeah. So you arrive at the front and demand to see Vorendor. Is that right?
That's right. I'm Thorn. Here's my ident. I say, you know, showing mine. It's tattooed on my shoulder.
Oh, nice.
Because I was a slave.
Got your back
I was a slave. I can't.
Oof.
I couldn't get away from that. I'm not anymore. I legally bought my indenture out, but I still use the fucking shoulder tattoo as my ident out of defiance.
Yeah, and
so especially if anybody wants to fucking underestimate me because I've got an indenture tattoo, okay. I'm really glad for them to do that.
And you're out on this like poured Duracrete plaza, and you got a couple of corp security that are in heavy armor that could maybe stop a blaster bolt, but Star Wars, so maybe not. It starts raining because cyberpunk, and so we have like the pink neon of Osiris, a couple of Osiris's signs that are shining off of the rain slick Duracrete underneath your feet, and you demand to see Vorendor. And they don't just gun you down or refuse you entry. The person comes running from the inside. You can see them. It's Star Wars, right? So it's a big, huge, gigantic lobby. The person has to run, and it takes a moment, and they eventually come out, and they hold in the palm of their hand. You see this little hollow come up in the blue style of the hollow communicators, Vorendor, and you can tell she's above. You can tell from the things that are picked up on the edges of the hollow, and she says, "You wanted to see me, Thorn?"
Damn straight. Let me in more.
Are you here to thank me for giving up on trying to retrieve my former piece of art? Then you're welcome. You may go.
I didn't come here to get your fucking blessing. I came here to race your latest thing. I'm the only one who should be doing that. I fucking
enough.
won the last RIP race with adrenaline.
You took adrenaline from me.
Yes, and I made it fucking famous. As it deserved to be. I splattered it all over the hollows by winning the goddamn race with it, walking away, and showing off, well, it's
She holds her hand, her big, Wookiee hand open, and you see that there's a little, almost looks like a communicator, like a comm device, but there's a single button on it, and she says, Thorn, I appreciate that you made the adrenaline popular. It means the Maximus will be even more so.
not if you let that fucker drive it.
This is another little device that I've created. I've done some studies about harmonics and repeaters. This hollow projector will repeat this particular signal. And you hear the click, the audible click of the button, and immediately your head is filled with an incredible amount of pain. It sounds for at first, it's like the worm is vibrating inside your skull, and then it feels as if it might be trying to burrow its way out. What do you do?
I did scream and clutch my head.
The hound like grabs you, and they're screaming, but you can't quite hear it. You feel them, and then it looks like a gunfight may be about to break out. What do you do?
Stop it, stop it, stop it.
And hound grabs you and pulls you over her shoulder, and she just tries to run away from this sound.
Fucking why, for? I say, instead of just yelling,
And then you
and
pass
I
out.
start to cry.
Yeah, you start to cry, and then you just lose consciousness. You're out for a while. You have visions. Stephen, if you don't mind me tapping you on the shoulder here, what are a couple of the things that Thorn sees in these worm infested dream nightmares?
The earliest time when you were first, whenever you were very young, and whenever you were a slave, and you were first learning the hard way how they treated your kind,
Oof.
and some of those lessons.
Oh yeah, getting shock sticks for doing everything's wrong. Quote, until you get it right.
Nice. Okay. I mean, not nice, terrible, but fitting. And
Yeah,
then,
they fucking shock sticks
Greg,
on 5-year-olds.
Greg, what are some glimpses of either the worm itself, like is perception of the universe, or visions of other people this worm has been inside that Thorn sees?
I think Thorn is thinking about all of these people who they've loved, and they can see their faces, but occasionally the faces slide into people they don't recognize, and Thorn knows that those are people who have that the worm has previously been with in another host.
Oh man,
They're familiar, but they're not someone they recognize.
oh wow, that's got to be super confusing and disorienting to have these like other lives, other conversations. Yeah. When the ringing stops, Thorn, and you lose consciousness, I'm not sure how long you've been out, but when you start to wake, you realize that your head is on Hound's lap, and you also recognize the low hum of pulse engines, or basically sublight engines. When you sit up, you see that you're on the transport taking Adrenaline and all the other pod racers up.
Okay.
I told them
that's not-
I was on your crew.
Yeah, well, you are. I wiped my eyes. How long was I out?
A few hours.
Fuck, Hound, why did she do that? Why would she do that?
I don't know. I thought you guys were friendly.
They were lovers. I mean, you know how I am. You know, I was with her for a while and then I moved on. And I was pissed at her, which is why I stole Adrenaline. But she never said anything about it. So I figured we were okay. She could have, you know, put out a thing and had me arrested for it anytime.
Well,
It's-
not after you won the race. I mean, it's pretty
Well,
much attached
no,
to you now.
but anytime up to then, it's just
I don't think she cared until you won.
that set her fucking off.
Yeah.
To see her. Oh, because it wasn't about her, maybe. But it was her fucking racer.
I guess she just wanted to prove that she's moved on or something.
I didn't care if she moved on. But oh God, it felt like that thing in my head was about to claw its way out.
I'm sorry.
Not your fucking fault. All right, she thinks her Maximus is going to do something in this race. I am going to take it to pieces. I'm going to eat that thing for breakfast. I'm going to show her that she doesn't fuck with me this way. And Thorn is just falling.
Hound pulls you in and tries to hold you. She doesn't know what words she could say.
Yeah, Thorn is clearly angry and completely miserable at the same time. To a fucking Trandoshan. Fucker wouldn't know art if he stepped on it. Him, it's just gonna be.
You beat him before, you'll beat him this time too.
I'll beat him, and if I can't beat him, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that thing apart if I have to ram it.
Okay. Got your back. Think we'll call our mid-game break here. Let's do 10. We'll do 10 minutes. Good. Okay, we're back. And Greg, you had a thing you want to add into what Thorn saw in her visions, the worm visions?
Just to complicate things a little bit. I think, as the worm visions, right, the levers are becoming a little nebulous. You do recognize that for the parasite, I'm open to this being either way. Either it's a younger Vorendor, or it's a younger Cask, the Trandoshan who you're going to try and run off the track.
Oh, that's interesting. So maybe one of them had the worm before.
Or someone who loved them had the worm before. Yeah.
Oh,
It's the Aberson symbiotes. It's theorized by some are a hive, or a little bit of a hive mind kind of thing. So it wasn't necessarily the same parasite, but it could have been a close, progenitor thereof. I don't know who did the experiments on me. I mean, I know the technicians that were involved, but who paid for them and why they did them and what they were trying to accomplish with them is still a mystery to Thorn. They never, they didn't tell us shit. It was basically, it's like, if we let you stick this thing in your brain, then we will buy out your indenture. And Thorn was like, yeah, I'd rather die than stay where I am. And they were like, that's a good attitude because that might happen.
So we pick up with everyone on the Iron Fist. It is a superstar destroyer. It has a city's worth of soldiers, engineers, and other members of the crew. And there's also a lot of Karania City dignitaries who are excited about the opportunity to hobnob with Warlord Zinj and his command staff. This is a very public event. Kofuku arrives in this sleek, branded shuttle.
Giant military space yacht.
Yeah, for sure. It's of the Bright Beauty class, and it is, as she is kind of owned lock, stock, and barrel by Kitsune, and has all of the Kitsune Cute Fox, the Kitsune Media Group logos all over it. And yeah, she has arrived. And I think I'm going to, let's see. I'm changing one of the Vin Ferndyke, who got in on a technicality because unfortunately Jad Cod disappeared in heated renegotiations of his advertising contract, which is why Truss is now the new Ping's spokesdriver. So I want us to double check on our goal or objective for everybody. It sounds like Truss, you put in beat Nedic and Punky. Both? All right.
I have to beat both of them, or I have to give a ping droid to Nedic that I don't own. And yeah, and I have to beat Punky, or Punky will destroy me.
Destroy you. Nedic, you have been told what your objective is, to keep your ride, which is finish in the top 3. What about for Thorn? What is her objective this ride? I have an inkling, but I'm curious.
Yeah, no, her objective, well, since Foreign Dirt gave, or is having the Trandoshan fly for Maximus, either to beat the pants off of him, or if that fails, destroy the Maximus. Just slag it.
Cool.
She has nothing against the Trandoshan.
Well,
It's all about foreign Dorn.
Why would she have anything against the Trandoshan?
He's just being used.
Yes, it is the Maximus.
Yes, he is just being used by Vorendor to get back at Thorn. And
I'm sure he thinks that he's more than that.
Yeah, he's got the imagination of a beer keg.
Does. So let's do a tour. BZ5 is touring people around, showing off the Warlord Cup tracks, and that is where we find some interesting or dangerous features for race 2. Let's start with Steven. I'm asking Steven the player, but of course you can always filter it through your character's perceptions. What is one feature or danger of the Warlord's Cup track?
Yeah. I think that the Imperials are going to use this sort of as training. So they're looking for target practice with the pod racers. And I think they have an ulterior motive of if anyone evades that, maybe they can get them as a pilot.
So yeah, do they have like automated turrets?
Oh, I think they have man turrets with a bounty on pod racers.
Wow.
Hardcore.
Oh, that's great. Let's go next to Brandon. What is a feature or a threat?
There is one of the bends in the turn was built into a maintenance passageway that goes relatively nearby to one of the primary star drive motivators of the executor class. And what that means is that there is a natural gravity gradient in it. And you can get better speed by subjecting yourself to crazy G forces. They're the sort of fast slipway through there means that you're pulling not just the gravity, you're pulling not just the G's of the tight turn, you're actually pulling the artificial gravity actually is heavier in the outer part of the turn.
That's amazing.
And so you can cherry surprise yourself right across the track if you take too much of a risk.
Let's say it's turn 3 on a 4 turn, like it's the thing that sends you down the straightaway. So people are really wanting to push the limit. I like that. And then finally, Greg, what is a feature or a threat?
It's more of it's a driving challenge. So Kufuku, as part of her rider, has said that with the finish line being directly over her stage, all of the racers have to pass the lap line or the finish line, but for each lap, in sync with the music. It's a PR disaster if your sonic boom of flying over is not to the beat of the music. So as you round that final turn, your earpiece starts a click track from the soundboard, and you have to time your crossing of the finish line perfectly. If that means slowing down or speeding up by a couple microseconds, you have to do it. Yep. Yeah.
I just want to amplify that it's not just a click track in your mind, that there is a giant jumbotron thing of Kufuku, right at the finish line that pulses in sync with the beat of the music. And and by giant, I mean 15 stories tall, a hangar, that fills the entire, hangar bay thing. And so you're staring into her as you're making the final push.
Yep.
And she's making those dance moves, and the whole thing is pulsing to the beat, and there's a subsonic rumble and everything like that.
Love it. Okay, well, that is what BZ5, our droid racing journalist, flies through. I'm going to add just a feature. It doesn't add more challenge per se, but I think that there's a point of the race where the bend actually goes out of the hangar, like one of the hangars, and goes out into space. So there's the possibility that if you don't hang it just right, you could fly out and never come back. That sounds fun to me. So I will add that in because wild. This is great. I love this. So turn 2 is in the vacuum of space. And it's one of those where it came down, oh, we want to add that in. There were some arguments because people would have to wear helmets and they're not as photogenic with helmets. And then it was found out that Warlords Zinj wanted it, and therefore they had to make it happen. So there are these like collapsible helmets that are provided to people, so you can hit a button and it pops around like Star-Lord and Guardians of the Galaxy type.
Adrenaline can make a canopy.
That's true. Adrenaline can. Maximus can as well.
Because adrenaline's actually space ridden. It doesn't have enough. It can't jump. And it doesn't really have enough endurance to go very far. But it can sail.
That's cool.
Why you would want that, I don't know, but I didn't make it. It also, I also imagine adrenaline is doing the very cool thing of when it's in transport mode, it kind of folds up to where it's the size basically of a torpedo, and it floats. So you just grab a handle and you tow it, and two people can like grab a handle and tow it along.
Nice.
And then when you put it down, it unfolds into its default show off configuration, work of art configuration.
Yeah, I'm currently looking because I think I have. Yeah, I like this. So I'll quickly do a screen share. I think this
find
is
the
what
Maximus.
Yeah, I think this is what Maximus looks like. It could also be a ship, and like you kind of move forward and this collapses over you, so you're partially exposed, but you're also protected. I don't know. It's maybe not quite as beautiful as the adrenaline, and maybe
It's not. She put the power source outboard. Which is a good choice from an engineering standpoint, and it allows you to generate more power safely without cooking the pilot.
Yep.
But it doesn't have, it's not gorgeous like the adrenaline.
It is not. And I think Thorn recognizes that, and you realize that Vorendor may have rushed this out in a fit of pique. But we shall see how this goes. So I have pre-rolled for, and you guys have rolled at the end of last session for your placement. In the top 3, basically in the front row, because it's 2-person per row, we have Punky Pollux and Cash the Trandoshan, who is in the Maximus. Next row is Truss, who's right beside Mina Clico, who looks over at you angrily, like growling at you. Thorn, whose objective is win or beat Kosh, or take out Kosh, which is the most important objective for you think?
Win.
All right, and so row 1.
I don't
Kosh.
hate Vorendor. I just want to show her she's wrong, completely wrong.
Trico Thigas, she is here, and even though you're right across from Trico, she's just looking up into the box where the Warlord Zinj is supposed to be. She just really wants to impress Warlord Zinj, that she thinks she'll make it. Mata Chatsa, though, he keeps kind of peeking over, checking out where Kosh is. He's talking on his little comm unit, and his goal is that he's supposed to secretly help Kosh win. Then Nedic Kez, you're right beside Mata. Maybe you hear a little bit of communication between Mata and Kosh. Kosh just curt in his answers, but but Mata's very, yeah, I've got that. Okay, cool. So I've got your back. Don't worry, Kosh. And yeah, Nedic, as you're lining up, that Lieutenant Sabal, he just comes up and he's watching you, very curious about how things are going to go for you.
I wave.
Perfect. And then down at the very, very back, like right behind you, Nedic, is the Tuscan. The Tuscan's in a new ride because his last ride did not survive, and his stuff has some ads on it. He has had to sell out a little bit to Yen Group, so he's got the big stylized Y on several bits of his racer. The 66 Circles embarrassed by the fact that they had to go for that, but wow.
As I lean out to wave at the Imperial, I kind of turn around and give the Tuscan the thumbs up and say something that's not translated at him.
And I think like his face screws up, like, and just before, because I want to see her on screen again, just before things are where crews are supposed to move off, Truss, we have Arani Fizz Solano comes out, the hype exec for Yin Group, and she moves over and taps the Tuscan's ride, but she's moving up to you. She says, "This is great, 66 Circle. You guys are excellent consultants for us. Gig workers, I guess. Gig workers? Yeah, we'll go with gig workers. But Truss, you are an excellent spokes pilot for us. Win, baby. That's what we need. We need you to win. And if you can mention Ping in any of the interviews with BZ5, every mention of Ping will get you 250 credits."
Ping.
No,
Justin.
while talking to BZ5.
Ping.
Great, good practice.
He's practicing.
Cool. So 500 credits, or 250, 250 creds per mention of Ping for Truss with BZ5. Sorry.
Ping.
Exactly. You have to hold his interest, though. So you're probably going to have to answer more than just Ping. He will move on. All right. So we have Kofuku. She starts singing this song, and we have the gigantic projection of the 50-story high Kofuku, and she is dancing like you can see her live. She's moving. We cut to Chip Off Cantina as they're hovered over watching the hollow, and they're like, "Oh, that is not a Kofuku dance move. Like, look at the way she moves her hips. That's wrong. This is all wrong. It's all fake." But it's kind of good though, right? No, it's not good. They hate watch it. We swing back. Kofuku they've written this specific like Warlord Cup song. It extols the virtues of Warlord Zinj and does not mention the destruction of the Death Star. Talks about Karanian City. It's so propagandist. It's kind of super painful. And then
it's also probably inappropriately just like and sexy, right? And the Warlord Zinj, it's a giant in the bedroom sort of thing.
Yes, it's very Putin, kind of the bear man, like so virile and everything. And then you see boom, 5, 4, people are moving off and things are getting ready. All of the pod racers are revving up. 3, 2, 1, boo, and everything sounds, and we enter.
Thorn gives sound last minute, because just before she has to scatter.
Nice. I like it. And Thorn says, just win. And yeah.
And Thorn says, "Remember me if I don't."
but appropriate. So let's go into Helicam. So Punky Pollux is going to hold, and Kosh is trying to advance. What is Truss up to?
Truss is so happy with his current location. If I hold, right, and Mina tries to bash me, I get a free bash back. Is that correct?
Right.
Or is that only in this? Oh gosh.
Let's
Here we
see.
go.
Hold, defender, position, advancing. Useful skill. Holding, push back. You roll your weight modifier, which you're not awesome at.
Nope.
You can add overclock though, and overclock is active immediately because it's a 2-lap race.
Okay. And then you make a pushback roll. Ferocity of the pack.
Don't
Successful hold. No racers except a teammate can get past you on this lap.
Yep. And teammates can only slip past at your discretion, so
Okay.
you don't get a free attack. I think it's
Okay.
the block.
In that case, Trust is just gonna full sail, try to advance, get ahead of the pack, gotta be a winner.
Nice.
We got the new flavor, Ping Coaxium, is coming out, and
oh man, pink coaxium. I'm writing that down. I could super get into a game that was just like corporate bullshit stuff. It would be really funny.
maybe
So
not Star Wars, but yeah.
Mina's following you. Yeah, it makes
Okay.
it makes it tolerable if it's Star Wars. Mina will also advance because she's just trying to follow you, and you're going to thread the needle, and she's the thread, coming right behind the needle. So Thorn, what would you like to do? Advance, retreat, or hold?
Advance. The
Okay.
adrenaline's not really. The adrenaline's not happy doing anything except flying.
Trico's trying to hold. Mata is trying to advance. Man, everybody's going to advance. And Nedic, what's your plan?
Advance.
All right. I think the Tuscan is going to have to advance as well. And Vin is, I think Vin's going to hold. Yeah, Vin's just going to hold because he's trying to do something totally different. He's got a different goal. All right, let us go through. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to build up on Helicam phase, and we'll try building up on maneuvers phase as well. So we are hold, advance, Tuscan. I'll just handle that. Nedic, let's roll out your advance. So when you advance, roll a d6. Sorry.
So does that mean that? But the hold is supposed to block people from getting by, right?
It is. So what we're doing is we're going to go up the moves and then suss them out. So if someone is behind you and advances, but you hold, your hold works because you went last. So basically whoever goes last, their move trumps, if that makes sense. We'll see how that settles out.
Sure.
Cool. So Nedic, you are going to advance. You're going to roll a d6 plus you add your machine's acceleration modifier plus any overclock you'd like to add. Results the number of places you could potentially move up in a thrilling montage.
So I'm going to throw in 1 overclock.
Okay, that is a good call.
Hi. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. I'm going to throw in one. Yeah, I'm going to throw in 1 overclock. So I'm rolling 1d6 plus 2. I'm going to roll that. And
All
I
right,
got
a 4. All right, that is pretty good. You potentially will go up to 4. I now roll a pushback roll. Pushback for Nedic, and lap 1 is a 5. Oh, crap. So the pushback roll is higher than your result. You do not advance and remain in the position you started the lap in. I am sorry.
No, it's fine.
Okay. And so we'll say advance.
Tight pack at the beginning.
It is Mata, Trico, not worried about them. So let's see. Thorn, you are rolling to advance. D6 plus your weight modifier plus any
Acceleration, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry. D6 plus acceleration plus any overclock.
8.
Oh, wow. That's pretty great. I just spelled your name Thrawn. I will change that. Oh, that's a pitiful one. So you can advance all the way to the front. So you advance 7 without having to pay anything for it.
Yeah, the adrenaline does its patented 0, from 0 to 200 miles an hour in a quarter of a second move. It's sort of like what a speeder bike does, except it's weird.
Now, when you overclock, just as a reminder, the overclock, you're sacrificing your integrity.
Right.
So you spent 2, that means, or you spent 3?
I didn't spend anything.
Well, okay, I've got 5 plus
Plus
3.
3 acceleration. Yeah.
You're right, 3 acceleration.
My
Sorry.
acceleration.
Yeah, yep. Okay, cool. So
I'll
none
mention
spent.
the overclock if I'm spending.
And Nedic, did you spend any overclock? You did not, right?
I did,
was
and I
just
took
straight-
it off.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I'd rather make sure I ask dumb questions that you may have already said aloud than not. Sweet. So you are potentially advancing 7. Mina is going to advance. She is a rival. So I'm going to quickly roll Mina's thing, and Mina's acceleration is a flat. So she's rolling flat. She rolled a 1, and I think pushback is not going to allow her to do much. Yeah, she does not. She fails. And we are up to Truss.
I think an Imperial sniper may have hit something. So yeah, Truss is advancing. Let's see. Do I want to overclock? Yeah, why not? I'm gonna burn 2. That gives me a +5.
Wow.
It means I'm gonna fall apart any moment now, but
Oh, it's just 2 laps. You can
That's an
follow
11.
across the finish line. Oh, let's see what the pushback for Truss is. 2. So you can
Advance
advance
9.
9 without paying anything.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Kosh is trying to advance. So let's do Kosh advance. His acceleration is a 4. That's right, a 4. He rolled a 1. Wow, that is terrible. He did not even advance. He failed to advance. Son of a.
You see, this is you give a beautiful engineering machine to a thumb fingered troglodyte. This is what you get.
Yep. So at the end of Helicam lap 1, I'm going to actually add another column just so we can reorient everybody.
Doesn't
Let's quickly
Punky
see.
need to roll to hold against both?
Oh,
Truss
she does
and
need to
Thorn?
roll to hold.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was automatic. Thank you. Hold. For hold, do advanced
She
retreat.
can use either stat because she's in the front.
Oh yeah. Holding first place. Acceleration instead of your weight. And we look at Punky. She's going to use her acceleration because she'd be crazy not to. That is an 8. She maxed that out. Holy crap. Okay. So is there pushback on failing? Let's see. All right. Hold.
Yeah, but there can't be pushback to an 8.
Failing to hold. So okay. All right. Pushback roll. Okay, there is. I thought there was a pushback. Sorry. Two. That is pretty amazing. An 8 versus 2. So she's 6 to the positive. That means that you successfully hold. The pack behind you is no match for your sublime domination of the course. So that means that Punky holds and Kosh failed to advance. So we have Truss advanced 9, which is higher than 7. Are we comfortable with saying then that Truss is in second?
Yep.
And Thorn is in third. Advance failed, advance. Okay. Then with Kosh's advance failing, he drops to 4th. Mina's dropping to, I think Mina drops to 6th. And we have Trico holding, but an NPC, so we'll have him drop down. Trust Thorn, Mina, not okay. All those people are settled in. Mata is moving up to try to help out Kosh, and Nedic, you stay in 8th, and the Tuscan is right beside you, and Vern held. So there we go. That is our end of Helicam. We are now moving to maneuvers. Overtake, slam, or block are the options with these, and we're again going to build from the bottom, and I think Vin is going to slam. Dun, 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 let the boys be boys. He's going to slam the Tuscan, because who does? The Imperials don't like sand people, so he's going to go after the sand person. It totally makes sense in his head, and that's why he's doing it. The Tuscan is going to try to slam Nedic. Oh, Nedic, what would you like to do? Overtake, slam, or block?
Overtake.
Trico is going to try to block you. Mina is trying to take Trust down, so I think she's going to have to overtake. Mata is... Oh, Mata's right by Kosh, so I think Mata's going to be blocking, and Kosh is going to try to overtake. Thorn, what are you doing?
So, this is okay. This is not the Helicam phase. This is the next thing.
It's a maneuver, so you can overtake, slam, or block. That's on column E of the racing mode rules. Overtake, surprise burst of speed that lets you try to get ahead of the racer in front of you. Slam, you can slam into someone that's nearby and try to destroy their ride. Block means that you are trying to prevent a maneuver from behind.
I'm still going to play to my strength and try to overtake.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, that's what you're good at. Truss, what are you doing?
Truss is going to hit that button that says ping. It's the illegal device.
Oh yeah, sweet. So
I don't know if there's that. I mean, what I'm really trying to do is I'm trying to take Punky Pollux out of the race.
Okay.
Yeah.
With
Does
your
that
EMP device, yeah, that
replace
sounds
my
good.
overtake and all of that?
I think it does. And here's
Okay.
I think what we'll do is that'll overtake. You're going to use the illegal mod. So the first D6, if you roll a 4 or less, you will be caught doing this. And then if you roll a 4 or less, the sails are no longer operational. Those are how things. So illegal mod. And Punky Pollux is going to try to block because she has no idea what she's into. Cool. So let's start with Nedic with Tuscan trying to slam into you. So with a slam.
Roll with weight.
Yep, rolling with weight, and the opponent rolls D6 plus their weight. The Tuscan's weight is a 1. So let's see. Got a 4. All right. Steven, if you will roll a D6 plus the weight modifier for... I probably should have put a thing where we
I got a
copied over
5.
your stats into the thing. Okay, you got a 5. He got a 4. That is not good for him. So on a failed roll, the opponent deflects or overwhelms the attack. That means that he's going to take -2 integrity damage. What does that look like as the Tuscan comes rumbling up, trying to slam into you and fails and takes some damage?
Like, kind of like a sunshade, so it makes good connection. But I know that gives him a blind spot. So I get in this blind spot and make sure he runs into the thickest part of my. Actually, it's where my wake is. My wake from my engines. I put the wake for my engines in his blind spot. So when he advances towards me, he kind of, shimmies out and takes damage.
Nice. Cool. He takes damage. And I think there are even a couple of shots from the sharpshooters that ping off, well, not ping, but careen off of this. No, exactly. Could have gotten 250. Careen off of the side of his Tuscan ride is called, I think his Tuscan ride is called the Desert Maelstrom, right? That's what he calls it. I'm gonna put that in there. Desert Maelstrom. Sweet. Then let's move up to Nedic. You're trying to overtake the next person in front of you. So a D6 plus your acceleration modifier. And
Yeah,
opponent
so
rolls plus weight.
So D6 plus acceleration is a total of 6.
Oh, that's not good for Trico, because Trico is rolling, and I think they have a pretty light mech, so they're rolling. Defend, overtake. That is 2. You overtake.
Okay.
Congratulations. And Trico's was trying to block you and failed. So that is over and done. Now we're going for Mina trying to overtake, and she's gonna succeed because she's doing it against a unnamed. Mata is trying to block and fails because lower level. Kosh is trying to overtake you, Thorn. So Kosh brings the Maximus up, and they're really fast. This might not go well for you. Let's see how it goes. Kosh overtake. I misspelled Kosh. Wow, you rolled a 5. That is the minimum he could possibly get. And he is trying to take over.
I have a 7. He's got a faster engine, but he doesn't know how to drive it.
He does not know how to drive it. How did he even come in second before?
Well, no, before he was driving something that he was a familiar machine. They just gave him this incredibly souped up thing and said, hey, drive it. And he's just not good enough to make that transition.
Yeah, we see him. He's like constantly flipping buttons and everything. He's low grade freaking out.
He just went from driving like a race car to driving a cigarette boat. I mean, it's just like it doesn't handle the same way, or from like a fast stock car to a Formula One, thing. And it's like you can't drive it the same way. You have to. These are hair trigger. These fast things are hair trigger touch.
Cool. So he tries to come over. You block him very, very easily. He's taking a little bit of. I'm going to say he takes some damage from that because he's just so out of sorts here. So his integrity is going to go down by 1. And now, Thorn, you are trying to overtake Truss. So let's see you roll plus your acceleration. Truss, you're going to be rolling plus your weight.
Just a 5.
Just a 5. All right. So, Greg, let's roll for your.
Don't worry. I have a -1 to that. So,
all you can do is equal that, huh?
I can overpick. Can I overclock as well?
You can overclock, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't have it in for for Truss, so I'm not.
Truss has got to win.
Pedal to metal here.
So I will burn 1 just to roll flat. Here we go. That's a 5. Oh, I don't know what happens on the tie.
Okay, cool. So higher result is successful. What happens on a tie?
Did we run into this before? Is this where we did the impulse?
I think we're going to do an impulse roll.
Chaos
Thorn,
theory.
give me a chaos roll.
Okay.
You're the one doing the crazy passing maneuver. And tell me how this is.
Yes.
this is chaotic, right? Because you're racing, but you're pushing the limits. How is that?
There's a the floor of the space that we're in is narrower than the main race course here because there are consoles and things sticking out. And Thorn presses a series of buttons, and the adrenaline tucks in and reconfigures, and she drops it right down onto the deck. Between flying between protruding things with about about a meter of space on either side, which at these speeds is like flying a speeder bike through the woods of Endor.
Let's see how it goes. Give you that chaos roll.
I rolled a 3.
You rolled a 3, which is under your number. I think that means that because we were doing the overtake, and just making sure, Greg, that you're comfy with this, that means the overtake was successful, right?
Yeah. No, that's it. Yep.
All
Does
right.
that still mean I get to do the illegal thing to?
Oh, yeah.
You do. Yes,
Okay,
you do. Which is exactly what we're up to now. With your illegal mod, let's see if you pull it off. So you're going to roll a d6. If you're successful, we lost Steven. If you're successful, well, it's going to be successful. Like it happens, right? From the way it's just, do you get caught and can you use it again?
Does it? Yeah.
Those are the questions. Cool. So this is going to take Punky Pollux out of the race.
Yeah. So I think as Thorn is like riding up on my tail, Thorn can hear, even over all of the racing noise, that Truss is blaring the Ping theme song. Like it's at the end of the commercial, it's just like the jingle. Ping is the thing with the zesty zing. And then we go into that big cavern, like we're in that hallway and we hit that big cavernous gravity well, right? At the back of the ship. And we're all three of us, like it's really hard to tell where the three of us are. And the big shimmering solar sails start shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking, and then it goes off. And Punky just happens to be the one that's in front of it at the time. So I roll a flat d6, correct?
You roll a flat d6. You want a 5 or a 6?
Love it. All right, here we go. That's a 2. This is whether or not I got caught, right?
Yes, that is all.
Okay, I will burn my radical to try one more time.
Yay.
Nice.
That's also a 2. What is up with this stupid? Okay, yeah. Okay, so I get caught.
Now you see whether it blows up, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, Steven. Sorry you had issues. Welcome back.
Sorry.
That's okay. Truss has just used his illegal mod to take Punky out. While you guys hit space? Like
while we hit the big gravity well
or space.
Okay, the gravity well piece.
Yeah.
Are you imagining she's floating out into, because this is an EMP, it's going to take out her ride. Are you?
Yeah. She's just going to spiral out into space. Yeah.
Oh, it's so harsh. Poor Punky.
And the cameras will probably catch Ping is the thing with the zesty zing as it,
and then you have to see if your device falls apart.
Yeah,
right?
if it falls apart. Yep. Here we go. The one I care way less about, I'll probably succeed on. Nope, didn't succeed on that either. Yeah, so Truss is at the controls and like goes off. And Punky gets hit. Did we describe Punky's racer? Didn't we?
Oh crap! I thought we did, but now I can't remember what I'd said.
It's an acceleration 280, but
it's the one that looks a little bit like
right,
like
Ray's, yeah,
like a blade.
And it does like it for a second it like flares up like this is going to be like a boost for it, and then the whole engine just drops out. And because of the gravity assist, we just get like that Punky Pollock's like confused look as she starts spinning out into space, and she has been thrown from the race. But Truss is going to have to answer to the folks at Ping on why this illegal device went off.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So Thorn.
You'll be disqualified. You can remain on the track for 1 lap before the grav drones eventually grab you, but you won't place in the ranking for this race.
Oh, that's excellent. I love it.
Disqualification is usually considered punishment enough. Getting caught using a particularly vicious mod, one that could be classed as attempted murder, for instance, they have additional ramifications for your character later on. Lucky for you, there is no later on. Yay!
And I have another lap.
Yay! You get to finish the race. You're going to cause lots of trouble. This little disqualification thing pops up on your little display. And yeah, you are.
He's
we're
even
still
more
in the
better
race.
target practice now. He's been disqualified.
So I think it goes Kosh, then overtake from Mina. So Mina's up here. Then Mata failed to block. Nedic overtook Trico, which means the Trico fell behind. Tuscan fell behind because he did terrible. And Vin just moves up to 9th. Yeah, gonna finish.
Vin's strategy is
survive.
Yeah.
At the end of lap 1, we have Thorn, Truss, with this Truss is DQ'd. It's not Dairy Queen.
Yeah, no big swirl of ice cream on top of him.
Too bad. All right, so let's start from the bottom, heading up. Vin is going to I think Vin is gonna try to advance, because why not? The Tuscan is going to try to advance as well. And Trico is, I think Trico's going to hold again. It's got a plan during the maneuvers lap. Nedic, what would you like to do? Would you like to advance, retreat, or hold?
Advance.
All right. Mata is going to try to hold. Mina is going to try to advance. Kosh is going to try to advance. Truss, what would you like to do? Advance, retreat, or hold?
Truss is going to hold.
And Thorn, what would you like to do? Would you
I'm
like to
hold.
retreat or hold?
Hold.
I mean, you could retreat back to Kosh and then slam him. That's a smart.
No, showing him up is better.
Okay, just win, baby. All right.
Well,
let's
it's
go.
just, yeah, it's like, yeah, no, I don't have anything against Kosh. I'm trying to hurt
Gosh,
Warren Door.
on in this.
That's right. Kosh is just a proxy for Warren Door. She's the one I'm trying
he's
to
not
hurt.
worth your hatred, because
He's not. He's just like, he's just a fucking fly jockey. I mean, really.
all right. Tuscan is trying to advance, and he got a pitiful 3. Good lord, this is not his race.
4.
Yep, he failed. That advance was a fail. So Trico successfully holds because both advances failed. So Nedic.
Aha, I am successful.
Yes.
Yes, everyone else moved back, therefore I moved forward.
Okay,
So-
Nedic, you are going to be rolling your advance. Let's have you roll plus acceleration plus any overclock you'd like to throw in there.
Yeah,
Remember,
I'm gonna
this is the
throw
second.
in.
This is the second of 2 laps.
Wow.
I think I'm gonna toss in 4. I'm gonna toss in 3 overclock.
Nice.
And what this looks like is Nedic actually starts beating her console, trying to get it to, come to effect, and then grabs a lever and pulls it back. Let's see what it looks like. 7. I'm glad I added all that overclock.
Okay. You advance 7. The pushback is 4. You can advance 3, no problem. If you want to pay integrity for the difference, you can advance up to 7, but that'll cost you 3 integrity.
Let's see. If I'm not mistaken, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to get in front of Truss, which would cost me 2 integrity. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And I just saw Truss blast everything. But I don't know if her ship, the ship's still fine. I don't know if it's going to happen again. So that's awfully dangerous.
Yeah, that thing might have a second charge.
That's right. And I think what this looks like is I actually spin up around the track and I zoom in front. So yeah. And I paid 2 integrity for that. Is that right?
You could have advanced. It was 7 to 4, so you could advance 3, and you needed to move up. Oh shoot! I hit the wrong button. So you need to move up 1, 2, 3, 4 slots. So I think it's 1 integrity.
Yeah, it's
1 integrity. Okay.
1 integrity. All right.
Thank you.
After the
Mata
overclock, yeah.
successfully held, I guess, because NPC, non-rival NPC. Mina Kliko, the Duros, is going to try to advance. She is rolling plus her acceleration, which is 0. So Mina advances a flat D6. And she got a 5. Mina pushback is a 5. She does not advance anywhere. That is a failed advance. Goodness gracious. All right, come on, Kosh. You poor. You know what? He's paying 4 integrity right now. He's going up to 8. He's just going crazy at this point. He's got to win. And you got a 14. Wow. Let's see if he. Oh, the pushback is only 1. Oh, that's terrible. So he advanced 13. That is a lot. We will see how.
But if I successfully hold, it doesn't matter, right?
Right, because you're ahead of him.
Just blocks the shit out of him.
Okay. So Truss is looking ahead and looking behind and looking ahead, and these like 2 super sleek, like fancy racers, the future of pod racing. And
You're the past.
He's gotta hold, and it's gonna be way easier to and been DQ'd. Like there's no way. So he's just gonna throw everything he can at taking Cask out. And I'm gonna burn. I'll burn 3 of my integrity. That takes me down to 1. To give me a +2 on my weight. Wait, if I roll.
Let's be clear. The hold isn't going to do anything to Cash. All that does is keep him from.
It keeps him from beating Thorn. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're cool with that.
Yeah. So actually, if I burn all my integrity, does that just mean I'm willingly smashing my racer?
I think
Okay.
so.
Or it means your racer comes apart in the gravity well or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. We're doing that then. I'm rolling +3 on this hold.
Oh wow. That is brave and bold. And
all right, here we go. I can see the ping sponsorship is like slipping from my fingers.
Before you roll the dice, this is when BZ5 slips in. and this is when BZ comes in and says,
Well, Truss, it looks like you're having quite a bit of trouble here. My understanding is that you're officially disqualified from the Warlords Cup. How does that make you feel?
I think you're talking on mute, Greg.
Of course. It makes me feel ping-tastic. I'm so happy to announce that the newest spokes driver for Ping Coaxium is none other than Thorn. And then I slammed the brakes really hard to and it like the solar sail things flutter open, but they've been damaged, right? So they're making all this noise, and I try to run as hard as I can into the Maximus.
Meanwhile, Thorn is going, I hope that thing doesn't have a second shot.
Here we go. That's a 5.
All right, let's see what the pushback on trust is.
Yes.
2. Yes, you successfully hold. Then you
I have to roll a d6 to see if I die.
Yeah, I think so. That is exactly.
Do we want to
what
save that for the
happens.
maneuvers phase, or?
Yeah, let's save it for the maneuvers
Okay.
phase. You are about to die, but the maneuvers phase is when we'll find out if you explode. And I meant to say this at the beginning of lap 2, but everyone gets one radical because this is just insane and I love it. So because it would have been beginning of lap 2, Greg, is there anything you want to roll? Are you going to save that
Nope,
for your
I'm happy with everything. Yep.
Okay, cool. Good. All right. That is amazing. You held successfully. And Thorn
Cash is, I imagine Cash trying to get through and being confronted with a debris field and having to slam the brakes in order not to go at top speed into a chunk of Podracer.
That is crazy. I think you don't actually have to roll to hold. Well,
I don't.
Yeah, I don't think you do either. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I have somebody else holding for me.
Great. So we'll go with that. Sucks. He advanced 13. He
Thorn.
sacrificed a bunch of. I need to take his integrity down to 3.
Soren says, "Fuck, I don't know what drugs they do on SR, but I gotta get me some."
That was pretty insane. That was so actually nothing happened in that entire.
Nedic
you
moved up.
moved ahead of you moved ahead of Mina Kliko.
I think Nedic is right behind Thorn now.
I think you're right.
Well, no, Cash had an advanced 13, so it's hard to imagine.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Nedic beating that out. Cash couldn't get past your explosion, but was probably tight behind it as much as possible. So
Well,
Nedic would be
but
right
Cash
behind.
would be in second then, because I'm
Oh yeah,
I'm crossed out at the bottom now.
that's right. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes some sense. Although you're physically out there, I think you're probably like basically gone. So we'll just make that quick adjustment. Thank you for that.
But it's not disqualified anymore.
So Nedic's moved up. You're in third, Nedic. That's awesome. Then Mata, then Trico. Trico just didn't even have to hold. You poor sweet.
Trico's just doing a Sunday drive here.
Wait, what's missing here? Mata, Mina. Oh, Mina. I gotta stick Mina back in. She failed to advance, but nobody was trying to advance past her. So Mina's right behind Nedic, which is great. And Vin still in the race, guys. Just win, baby.
Moving up. Keep moving steadily up.
Great. Vin's got the right plan? Question mark? Cool. So that is at the end of Helicam lap 2. We're now into Maneuvers lap 2, the final lap. And we will count up. So look at time. We may actually finish this. So I think that Vin is going to try to overtake. Tuscan is. Oh man, what is the Tuscan gonna do? I think that the Tuscan is just gonna try to slam somebody and make some money at this point because he's so far back. Trico is going to overtake because he sees the Tuscan is just looking to hurt him. And Mata's goal is to help Kosh, but that's going to be a little hard to do from here. So I think she's just going to try to overtake and hope that people explode ahead of her. And Mina is going to slam Nedic because why not? Nedic, what would you like to do?
I'm going to try and overtake.
Okay. Then let's see you do that in just a minute here. Kosh is trying to overtake as well.
And I'm
And
trying to block.
Thorn, you trying to block? Okay.
That's right. Eat my wake. Damn it.
Trust trying to survive. Do we want to save that roll to survive for the end here? Or do we want to do it now? Because
Let's do it now.
okay.
I get no bonus.
So anything but a 1, right? Or it's anything but a 6.
What's the explosion rules?
You die. You die.
They reduced unless you roll a 1, you eject safely. Okay.
Yep.
Here we
So
go.
1 is you die.
I got a 5.
What does that look like?
It would be dangerous for other racers, but Truss is in this this sealed environment suit all the time, right? So he sort of rides the explosion, and then very slowly, as other racers are passing the finish line, like tumbles over the finish line, and people are like, in the
Does that
audience,
count?
like, that guy's just floating.
He's not in a racer anymore. Does it still count that he crossed the finish line?
Oh man, that's wild. Oh no, he's disqualified. It doesn't count.
No, and I understand. No, I mean, makes me
So I
think
see.
of the Roman chariot races where if a charioteer was knocked out of the chariot and dragged, they had the reins tied to their waists. So if they fell out of the chariot, which is these little things, they would get dragged. But if you got dragged across the finish line, your finish still counted for your team.
Yeah. Hilarious.
He didn't. It was whether the
It was your last act.
yeah, it was not the chariot crossing the finish line. It was the driver crossing the finish line. Theoretically, you could run to the finish line if your team collapsed or something like that. Although I don't think that ever happened.
All right, the Tuscan is going to try to slam Trico, and that is a weight thing. So let's see if the Tuscan is successful. I know this is low stakes thing, but I still want to see it. Tuscan slam. He's just looking to make a few credits on his way out here. Oh my God, no! He actually fails and takes damage. Another bit of damage. He slams into. Oh, let's take a look. What in our race features foiled him? Oh yeah. I think what happens is he times it poorly, and it happens in turn 3, and the star drive motivators gravity throws him off, and he ends up slamming into one of the motivators, breaking it, and he's going to be in a whole lot of trouble. So yeah, that's a fail. Bad job, Tuscan. You're bad at your job. Trico's going to try to slam, and slam fail. Trico tries to overtake. We'll say the Trico fails, and Mata is maybe successful. See, Mina is trying to slam you, Nedic. Mina's weight, and she's going to overclock on this slam. So she is going to go with a 4 on her modifier. That is 7 coming at you. So, per our racing mode rules, yeah, her Duros created pod racer is pretty heavy, and it comes in with a heavy slam. Now you need to roll d6 plus your weight modifier to defend against this, and your weight modifier is a 2. So you're pretty heavy. You're going to do okay, we hope.
Maybe. So what happens? I'm just trying to decide whether or not to overclock this or not. I could take damage, which is integrity, which is what overclock is, right? And then they roll a d6. I'm just gonna leave it up to the dice and not overclock. So
Probably a good call.
yeah. 4.
Okay. On a successful roll with a deafening roar of shredding metal, Mina slams her machine into you. First, you lose 2 integrity damage.
Actually, I'm gonna use a point of radical and re-roll that.
Okay. Do you want
And
to
see if I
change
can get
your
better.
overclock to change things, or you got to be?
No,
a
I think I'm
7?
gonna keep it and see
Okay.
if I can get better than a 4.
Okay.
I got a 6.
Okay. She
Okay.
rolled a 7, so
Yeah.
it's still same
I
thing
couldn't-
happens. That sucks. Okay.
I'm gonna spend my other radical and see if I can get better. Is that okay?
That's totally cool. Do you want to
Yeah.
spend any overclock to give yourself a bonus here?
No, I'm gonna keep it the same.
Oh my god.
Yep,
Okay,
did
you
it
gotta
this
roll.
time.
So
An 8.
that one's an 8.
Perfect.
Okay.
Describe what happened. How that
And I
happened.
think what this so I think what happened is this was Mina. So Mina was
Yeah.
coming into slam and actually made a really good pass and then was gonna hit, and I barely ducked out of the way and then came back for a second pass and I barely ducked out of the way. And then the third one, whenever they, this was the one, the first 2 were kind of feints to put me in the right position. And the third one is whenever one of the snipers at the turret actually hits Mina and takes away her perfect hit. And I zoom just out of the way.
Sweet. And Mina spent some integrity and takes more integrity. I think she's out at this point. She gets hit by the turret, and we'll see how if Mina survives. Oh, she got a 6. It's only on a 1. So she survives. Her beautiful Duros created craft is gone, but she is still around. Slam, fail, and out. It is time for Nedic to try to overtake.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and overtake Kosh, and now I'll overclock, and I'll overclock to 3. Yeah.
How much integrity do you have left there?
I got a 6.
Got a 6 on overtake. All right, and you are trying to overtake Kosh. So Kosh will use his weight, which is not wonderful. It is a 0. He is. What is his next move? Sorry, just taking a look. He's trying to overtake. So he's going to spend an overclock. So he's taking his integrity down to 2. And that will give him a +1 on his try to not be overtaken. And that is a 2. He is overtaken. Nice move. Kosh was trying to overtake Thorn, and Thorn's gonna block. So let's see how this overtake happens. If he overtakes you, then it's possible that Nedic overtakes both. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Kosh's overtake, he is using his speed, which is way better than his block, and that means you're going to have to try to block a 10 overtake coming to you, Thorn. What do you want to do?
So okay. What I'm in front, I can block with acceleration, right?
Correct. If you're in first, you can block with acceleration.
Okay. So Yeah, what I'm going to do is Thorn turns the key on the adrenaline's dash. From say it's from safe mode to an unmarked thing that just has a piece of red tape on it. And presses and presses the button, and the shift space power plant revs into high, as we're going to burn integrity like it was firewood.
Yeah, I think the red button has for people who can translate later, the Shiriwook, which is the Wookiee language, says "do not touch."
Oh yeah, and the little her like little holo power meter goes. There's a kind of a green band, and then there's a red band, and then it goes into a purple band. So she passed red lines it into whatever the next category is.
And you're using acceleration.
I'm using acceleration.
Actually, technically, that's holding in the helicam phase. Sorry, I just.
So doing that, so it doesn't work that way. I can't just out volume. I mean, I can't overtake. There's nobody in front of me.
Right. No, you were doing a block though. Let's just see how your block comes out.
Okay, so this is a weight block.
Yeah, D6 plus your weight modifier, and we already rolled his acceleration, which would be the 10. So
okay,
yeah.
All
Sorry,
right.
we were using helicam rules. I apologize. You can overclock if you wish, but of course, very dangerous.
Do wish.
Nice. How much you throwing in?
7.
Wow. You got radical bonuses too.
I know. I don't have this isn't a heavy chip. The adrenaline's not entirely like the flower, but it's really just built for speed. As I said, there's not much to it. It doesn't actually, it weighs about, probably like 100 pounds.
All right, let's see how this goes. Good luck.
What's me that die to my roll? 11.
11. That is exactly what you needed. Wow. Okay. So
he tries to overtake me and I put him into the wall.
You put him into the wall. Yeah, I think that's it for the Maximus. He sacrificed so much integrity that his losing out on trying to overtake you and getting slammed into the wall means the Maximus. Let's see, where in our ship does it get? Oh yeah, so we have the racing challenge, we have the Imperial using training and bend in turn 3. I think he gets slammed at turn 2. That's when he tried to make his move, and you send him hurtling out in Maximus as the pieces just start coming off. Right? It's worthy of being a spaceship, but there's no integrity life for this, and our Trandoshan, poor.
Roll to
sap that he
live.
was.
Roll to
We see
live.
if he lives. We see if he makes it.
And Thorin says, as doing the maneuver, she says, "Sorry about this," and then just bangs him into the gravity well.
Yep. And he survives. He does not die. Dang it, Kosh. Thanks for living. So boring. All this.
The adrenaline is, I don't know how you would visually see this. The adrenaline's, right. The all the warning signs on the adrenaline's power plant are going off. They're just little things. And Thorin just hits a button on the dash that silences them all, but you can still see them, blinking, engine integrity compromised.
And Thorn, as you're coming in towards the end, Nedic, let's see. So we got Nedic who overtook Kosh, but then Kosh tried to overtake Thorn and exploded. So it's going to be Thorn, Nedic, and Mina's out. So then it's like a bunch of people. But you've got that last challenge. You have to finish on the beat. And you hear the ringing start. And you know that she is here. That Vorendor is trying to activate. And I think you're going to need to give me a chaos roll or you're going to wipe out before you.
Yeah, I agree. Thorin screeches and clutches her head as the blinding pain rips through her cranium. And she's just trying desperately to keep the adrenaline
took out the
on
Maximus
track.
She's going to take you out, she thinks. We'll see if you survive. Go ahead and roll that chaos theory roll.
Made it.
Nice. Okay. You push through the pain.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm blind.
Yeah.
But I know the adrenaline so well that I can keep it on the straight. I had enough of an eyeball on that giant screen that when my vision shuts down, I can fly it. You see from my point of view that the screen just blinks out until it goes black.
You cross right at one of the beats and there are all these explosions, like fireworks explosions. And then we see Nedic pass right behind you. And we bring things to a close. Oh, see Mina.
Yeah, the adrenaline's automatic mechanisms kick in after the race and bring it to a halt. But Thorin doesn't get out of the racer.
Oh man. What does Nedic do?
It's just floating. It's just floating there, in the space after the finish line, just kind of bobbing gently in its hyperfield.
So I think Nedic waves to the other Razor girls and goes running up to Adrenaline, and kind of, since she can get there first, she's going to try and pull Thorn out and see what's wrong with her, but basically pull her out and keep her upright so she looks like a winner.
Thorn's unconscious and is bleeding from her ears.
Ooh. I think whenever Nedic opens up the door and sees that, basically waves the other Razor girls over so that they can help Nedic or help Thorn either to a medic or to stand up on the winner's podium and take first place, whatever you want. Yeah. But I'll help you.
No, Thorn's not big. It's easy for two people to kind of pick her up on their shoulders and hold her up. And she blinks a little bit, still not supporting her own weight. And she coughs and she says, "Did I win?" I don't remember the last part.
I think Hound is there with us. And yeah.
Hound's there. Yeah, you
It's
won.
like,
You beat that Karking Sleemo.
"Hey, Hound, nice to see you. Though I can't see anything."
Truss is also there.
Sonic thing went off in my head.
What does Trust do?
Oh, Truss is also there. I have a heart out now, but so Truss is also helping Thorn. Be like, Great job. Ping is
Well,
gonna
that
love
was-
this.
That was fucking amazing flying, Tress. You're crazy son of a bitch. But
Not as crazy as you, Thorn. All right. I'll pass along roses and stars and wishes afterwards. I have to head out.
yeah,
Yep, we gotta so see you, Greg, and
Take
we'll
care.
do a quick 5 minute. I actually need to get out as well, so let's quickly do our epilogues. So Thorn, what is the epilogue that we see for Thorn?
um, you know, I don't think Thorn ever races again.
Does she ever get her sight back?
No. That's why she can't race anymore. Is that, the thing that activated her, her implant, damaged her optic system. She can kind of distinguish shadows, but she doesn't have the visual precision anymore that you need to do
Razor
anything.
girls don't leave you behind. They will
And
still take care of
she uncharacteristically stays with Hound.
Nice.
As the one who was there for her. And she goes through a very bad period of time of feeling like she's useless. And, it's like, okay, fuck, I can't do this. And now I'm gonna die. But then we see her Hound pops in on her and they're kind of in their apartment. And Thorne's sitting at a computer console and she's all wired up. Like she has like little electrodes on her fingers and things like that. And then Hound says, how's it going? And Thorne says, I'm teaching them how to do it. Turns out the reflexes still work. I can't race myself, but I can show other people
Oh wow.
how to do it. And I says, great. And Thorne says, yeah, it's a reason not to die.
Nice.
And you too. She says, looking at him. And then says, yeah, don't you fucking forget it.
Nice. What about Nedic? What is your epilogue?
I think Nedic basically gets the winnings from the race, goes back to the garage, and I think Lieutenant Zapal is there. And Nedic, comes up with the piece that, she stole before and kind of eyes Zapal, and Zapal's, congratulations, that kind of stuff. And then basically Nedic, starts wants to haggle and is going shopping. I want this, I want that, starts going through the garage, trying to pick and choose things. And like, no. Not that price. I'll take less. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. It is overtime, so I apologize, but I do also need to go. Thank you both so much for playing. And with that, we'll bring this recording to a close. Excellent game.